Welcome and thank you for checking out my review of The Tax Collector, the latest film directed and written by David Ayer and starring Bobby Soto and Shia LaBeouf, among others. Shia got his entire chest actually tattooed for this film, and he only has one topless shot. And it's shaky cam. His disappointment is still not as big as mine. We follow David Cuevas, a family man who works as a gangland tax collector for a high-ranking LA gang lord. And one day, a new gang lord comes into town and decides that the place is all his. He owns this now, and David kind of has to fight back. Whenever I review a movie, I try to find any positive at all, even if I hate it, because there was work put into it by a team of numerous people working in every facet of filmmaking. The film certainly has production value. They certainly got great locations for areas in LA that could use the economic boom. And Ayer also gives a lot of roles to the Latinx community in LA, which is a good thing. There's violence, which is fun to watch, I guess. But beyond that, wow. Let's just say that Shia LaBeouf is clearly the more committed actor to his role, even though his role is not that big. He's kind of the guy who intimidates other people. When his boss, David, goes around to collect the money, he just stays in the back and he looks all menacing with his arms crossed or his hands folded in front of his waist. That's really it. The film starts off as the story of a man who's trying to balance his honest family life with the job that he kind of has inherited because of who his family is and who he is inherently connected to. But it's only that for about 20 minutes. Eventually it becomes a revenge thriller where honestly and surprisingly not much happens whatsoever. The film has a bunch of scenes of David going with Shia, collecting taxes and whatnot, and eventually things go wrong and he goes after some people, but it's just a bunch of conversations, and eventually there is 2 action sequences in the film. That's it. It turns out to be a tediously paced procedural of sorts. The family dynamics is kind of shallow. It's presented, it's established, but then it's just there. It's a thing that exists, but you don't really care all that much about it because the characters are also extremely shallow. David has a few problems with his boss, which in the end kind of get revealed why they're there, but you don't feel anything about it because there's no weight to the relationships and dynamics in this film whatsoever. It's a classic case of one of those films that does not go beyond its premise. The film is called The Tax Collector. There's this guy who's trying to balance his family and being a tax collector, quote unquote, and that's it. And that's a movie. Doesn't stretch anything beyond that. Doesn't pull any strings. Doesn't feel like it makes an effort. Like, at this point, I have been disappointed with Ayer as a director, but I was kind of counting on him as a good screenwriter, which he has proven several times to be in the past. But now, after this, I don't even have that. This script is muddled with inconsistencies, and it feels like it was chopped up to no end, even though from what I understand, Ayer had free reign throughout this film, so no shackles on him. Dialogue is also extremely soap opera-y, to put it lightly. I'm being nice with this one, believe me. And what I'm going to talk about next is one of my biggest issues in movies whenever it is really, really bad. I don't mention it a lot, there aren't a lot of reviews where I mention it, but when it is bad, I need to go into it, and the editing in this film is atrocious. Like, extremely bad editing. I've mentioned how this film, script-wise, feels like it was chopped up. The movie itself, it feels like they shot a lot, but they had to cut a bunch of stuff out. And again, I understand that Ayer had free reign in this film. There's a scene where they open the side door of an SUV and they put someone's head out. They bring him back in, then suddenly they shoot that person. They open the door, then there's another shot of a person in the front seat of the car, and when we cut back to the person who opened the slide door, they're already in another entirely different position. You didn't even hear the door close or the person being thrown out. And the sound editing as well, like, my god. And some of the shootouts in this film, the bullets and the bullet sounds are not even in sync. It was distractingly bad. Yes, the tax collector is bloody, it's violent, but it's riddled with gang movie cliches. And overall, it is barely coherent. I'm giving the tax collector a D+. I actually don't think I've given this grade in a while, since like January, February maybe, and I didn't miss it. Now, what did you guys think of the tax collector, my beautiful geekies? Did you enjoy it? Because I know a lot of people are enjoying it, so let me know in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching once more. You are the best. Stay tuned for more reviews to come during the weekend for The Secret Garden and Made in Italy. I hope to see you there. Thank you so much once more, and so until the next video, stay beautiful, stay geeky, and don't forget to subscribe and like. It really helps me and the channel out, but most importantly above everything else, forever and always, love each other and love the movies.